Okay, we're going to continue with the Maamar of Chacham Libi, the Maamar from the third of Slichas, Rebbe said in 1960 Tafshin Chaf, that was based on the previous Rebbe's Maamar Chacham Libi from Tafshin 1940, that we went through last class. And so now we can continue where we're holding in the Rebbe's Maamar. The Rebbe says like this. So we're sharing the text. So in the middle of Sif, I believe it's the middle of Sif Vav on page Reish Pei Vav. It says like this. That we said before that there's what's called Atmas Nekudas Alev, the essence of the heart, and Ha'aras Nekudas Alev, and the manifestation or the ray or the energy that comes, so to say, like the heart being effective doing something, not just feeling the heart in itself. And in the war of life, which we said that's based on last week's Torah, Chumash, Torah portion of that when you reveal, when you go out to the world, so again, you could be either fighting at actual equal level, where it's mamash a battle between good and bad, between the nefesh elikis and nefesh bahamas, but when you fight with the power of the ha'ara of the nekudas alev, and that's, so to say, this is what the Maamar is about. That the idea is that you're digging in deep within yourself a higher power of pneumius, of internal, to be able to go out to the battle, and you're revealing and you're using the heart as a tool, so to say, of a weapon to battle. So then you're going out and you're alevech, you're above your enemy. However, you're only able to affect the chitzonius of the nefesh bahamis, meaning you're able to control your machshava dibur ma'aser, your thought, speech, and action. And it's you haven't transformed it; you only subdued it. And the proof is that you haven't changed your character. So because it's a lavush, you're able to control your garments. But when you're able to reveal, so to say, what's the asmis nekudis, the essence of the heart, and sorry, go back, and that's why it says Vishavisa Shivyo, you've taken captives. Captives is like an expression of force. So you've taken captives of your three garments, and you're in control of them. But when you're able to reveal the Atzmis Nekudis, the essence of the heart, so that's such, it's so to say an automatic almost transformation of the person. That no longer are you that person, and therefore you're able to verisa b'shaviyai in the captive itself. You start to see eshes sifas Torah, and that's the transformation. So those are the two levels of the Atzmis Nekudis Alev and the Ha'aras Nekudis Alev. And he's going to say the same thing as the way it is in Elikus and godliness and in Oilamis in world. Like we said in the beginning of the Maamar, towards the beginning of the Maamar, that when the Rebbe explains the Maamar, that we have to understand it on the three levels of world, nef, neshama, and elikus, or self, world, and elikus. And each one is two levels of pneumius, like we have the ha'aras pneumius lev and nekudas pneumius lev, the manifestation of the heart and the essence of the heart, or the manifestation of the essence of the heart and the essence itself. So he says about so too is it above the b'shem elikim efshali that when you have the name elikim, which you know the name elikim is the name, it's plural, and it's the way Hashem creates Bereshis Bar Elikim, a physical world, and even any kind of separation, even the world of angels comes from Elikim. So Alidei Ribit Tzimtzumim, with many contractions, it could from this could turn out that not only is it separate, but it could also be unique al-chitzayim. It can be a siphoning off from negative energy, that it's taking the power of Elokim and using it for negative, as becomes a force, so to say, to negativity. And we know that there's, I forget the exact number of different ways of putting together your name Elokim. Some are positive and some are negative because of the unique of chitzayim. Not just that there's an existence to negative, but there's a negative force. Elokim acher. Elokim is koach, strength, my strength. So it gives strength to negativity, to acherim, to others. Now it says, it's based on what is explained in various places. The Shem Elokim hu lo rak hamogin v'nartik shemaylim umaster ala or the Shem Avayo. That Elokim is not just a shield and a concealment that conceals and sort of says hides the sort of say obvious light of Havaya of the Creator. So it's kind of concealing the Havaya, the godliness within creation. When Havaya, the name of Havaya, goes into Shem Elikim and is brought into the world through Shem Elikim, the Esmaka, the Nevrayim, so it itself becomes the way it becomes a source to creation, which is called a memale kalamim. It itself becomes nikra elikim. It's called elikim. Means Shem Havaya gets changed, transformed. Not only is it concealed, but it becomes itself a power of elikim. So the Rebbe says, so too in Ar Mal itself. That just like Elikim gets transformed, so to say, through the tzimtzum, Havaya gets transformed, and it's almost called Elohim, so it means Havaya, the power of creator that's within creation. And when it goes into Elikim, it itself gets affected by that process. So to extend the Or Memal itself, when it comes in to give light to the world, it gets affected by enclothing itself in the world. Like we said, the Or Memal encloses itself in the world. The Or HaSoviv is encompassing of the world. It's above the world. For instance, miracles, things that are beyond nature. So he says to me, Kivan she's havas mishem elikim Or Malahu b'derchis lapshus, because the Or Malah, the way it goes into the world, it is mislavish, it encloses itself in the Or HaMemal, into the world, into the Nevraim of the creation. So therefore, the actual creation, so to say, takes place. There's something happening over here. There's a life force that's created by the Memala going into the world, and you can't say as if it doesn't exist. When we see Atu Ashlei Nivra Olam Misha Nivra Olam, is talking about Havaya, but not Elikim, and therefore Vabitu Shlam Hurak Bitul Yesh, and it's only a nullification of the self. That even if they're nullified, it's only nullifying self, but they exist as an existence. Therefore, because it's mislabish. So then what could happen from there, the ishtalshlum is a yeshus mamish. It's not just that I feel that I exist and I nullify myself to Hashem. You could have the ideas of a person or an entity that counters Hashem. I'm yesh, and therefore I'm not accepting God things. Not just any kind of yeshus, that I have my own interest, so to say. And I'm going to act on my own interest, but actually a force of elikim acherim, a force of negativity. So how do we make sure that we don't have that? That we don't get vulnerable, that by Memalakam doesn't create that there should be an actual entity of the Ummah of the other side. But it's not, then the Or Mal is not enough. You have to have the Or Soiviv that breaks that, because it's not mislavish. Or Soiviv is not mislavish, therefore it's not vulnerable. And it's the way Or Havaya goes into, it expresses itself in the encompassing light that's beyond creation. And that when that reveals itself, that's why when there's moments of that revelation, there's a lack of yeshus, and it could be a lack of, also could break the negative forces. She's harvest men who be'ofen the b'derech melech, like we said before, that Shem Havai, when it creates not being mislabish in Elikim, it's automatically. But Nevraim any tav simakam magabei, and creation that comes from Shem Havai, like we said, kuhiut tziva v'nivro, is just automatically. It's bittul metzias, and therefore it creates a feeling and an avodah and an expression of I totally nullify yourself. There is no yeshus. So bittul hayesh, the danger of bittul yesh is not only that it's not totally nullified. And what is bittul hayesh? What does it mean bittul yesh? Bittul yesh can mean also yesh mishayev, someone who loves. I'm nullifying my want for your want. I say ritzayncha. You're conforming your want to Hashem's want, but you don't nullify yourself. And from there could come that because it's so maluvish, you could no longer conform your want to Hashem's want, to go to the extent of Elikim Acherim, other gods. It means not that you serve other gods, but it's giving power to other gods, other powers that take precedent. But when you reveal the Or HaSoiviv, which is Havaya, the way it's beyond Elikim, then it creates Bittul Metzias, and Bittul Metzias doesn't allow for there to be a Yesh, because there is no Yesh in Bittul Metzias. But we said before. Okay, so basically what he's saying is that Shem Elikim, the way it controls, is like Chitzoni Saleh in the person. Shem Havaya, that's Visoivev, is like Ha'oris Pnimis Halev, Ha'oris Nekudas Halev, which we said is Aloi Vecha. but nevertheless, it doesn't transform. Shagam Shem Havayu Mokli Savas. At the end of the day, it's still a source of creation. Therefore, we have to say Shagam Lagabe Shem Havayi Yesh Ezet Vis Mokli Sinavraim. Although its effect is bittul v'metzias, but nevertheless, there's Navraim, this creation. Where do we have a mitis habitul, absolute nothingness? With dafka lagabi atzmus or in social mavai is the way Hashem is beyond Havai, beyond even in the name. She'enim beged markal is not even a source. Havai means a name. What's the name? I'm the creator. A person who's beyond I'm the creator, so to say, it just is. How do you make sure there's absolutely no possibility for there to be a mitzvah outside of Hashem? When only it's possible, when there's a revelation of the essence of God beyond the creator. And that's why it says, this is what it says, again, when we say Penecha Avaya, it's Penecha Avaya Vakash, you're supposed to seek out the essence. What we're saying is not just that you should be Penei Havaya, but the essence of Avaya, but the essence that's beyond Avaya. And how do you do how do you make sure that there is no possibility for Elikim Acherim is Alpanai when there's the actual Pnimis, and this corresponds to the level of Pnimis, of Etzem Pnimis Alev, and therefore, how do you have the concept even of Eishes Yifas Torah is only when you reveal the Atzmus Nekudas Alev, not how Oris Nekudas Alev. So Shvechdeshli Yeshum Sinis Malkum Akir Acherim. By the Alpanai, it has to be about in the essence of Hashem. Now, mitis inyan de panei hu atzim soresev shemar mavai. Means penei havai means the essence of havai, not havai. Not even the essence of the name havai. The essence, but it's behind the havai, which is the atzmus mehusay in seif baruch. So he continues. So now we're putting it all together. L'chomer libi, my heart is telling me, b'akshu panai, seek the essence of God. Es penecha havai vakish, and I do that. I seek the essence of Hashem. But there's two lachos. There's lacha coming from the ha'aris nekudas alev, and then the panai is the primis of havaya, and then you have the atzmis nekudas alev b'mkaimcha, and then it's talking about the panai is beyond havaya. So seemingly, what's the highest level a person could reach? The highest level a person could reach is the atzmis nekudas alev, and penecha havaya is the essence of havaya, and that's tchina. That's what he's going to say now, and the Rebbe is going to flip it and show. Actually, when it comes down to the idea of dir b'tachtonim, is virtue to the avodah of ha'aris nekudas alev, which is the virtue of the avodah of iskafi, of restraining yourself versus transforming yourself. That's where sometimes, from a certain perspective, that's where the true avodah of dir b'tachtonim is. But let's see it inside. And what are the two explanations that we said in the beginning of the Maamar based on the Friedrich Rebbe's Maamar quoting Rashi? And what does it mean? My heart is telling me. I seek out my pnimius. That shalchahu bishvilcho bishlichuscha, meaning the heart comes as a messenger from Hashem. Or shalchahu b'mkomcha, it's in place of Hashem, so to say. There's two explanations. In bakshu, in seeking out, which is bakasher tchina, pleading, bakasher chipos, seeking. So he says, hey masim, hey behesim, l'shtei darkes b'panei. They all go together in line with the two levels of the pnimis. What are you seeking out? When you're looking at the pnimis of the name of Havaya itself, why is it called pnimis? Because it's the pnimis with regard to Elikim, which is the chitzonius b'malik olam, it's the force behind Elikim. So you're saying, Bakshu Ponai, seek out Havaya that's within Elikim. That's the manifestation or the expression of the essence of the heart. So Pirish L'chol Bishv'chol B'shilchuscha. So that's what it means. On your behalf, as a messenger, the heart is a messenger of Hashem. It's not just a shliach to inform. There's a mission. And what's the mission? What is the mission? Be effective in your chitzonius. Transform. Control your chitzonius. Like he says, be in control of your machshava divra ma'isa. Like he says, to be able to win the war. And the war is, what's the war? Because the Nefesh Hamas wants other things. So it says, Hashem says, I'm sending you on my behalf to be a messenger, to do something. What are you doing? You're fighting with the Chitzonis Alev. And in the Chitzonis Alev, there could be other interests. And how do you do it? By controlling the garments of Machshav Dibur Ma'aseh. The Ikra Nitzachin Shaidei Gili Dargazu Balavushim. And where do you see the success? And therefore we say Alei Vecha, but you're more powerful than Nefesh Bahamis, is in the control, in what thoughts you have, what speeches you speak, and Maisa, what actions you have. It's not enough to control it by force, but you reveal it by the heart. Why is so? The question is, why is the heart the messenger in this? So the heart is the messenger in this, because the heart, you awaken, like we said, by awakening the charisha, by breaking the heart down and making the heart a receptacle. You feel the want to do this. Your heart's invested to get control of your thought, speech, and action. It's avodas imalev. This is where he says, and the Rebbe quotes the Friedrich Rebbe's Maamar in the beginning of our Maamar, that you're using the heart. The heart is the best tool to be effective in this mission. Pisa, based on this. Pirish bakshupani who bakasha uvechipus. So what is taka the bakasha here? You're seeking out, you're figuring out in this avodah l'chapis b'chol inyonav. You're using the heart. You're emotionally responsive to this. You want to be involved in this. You want to be successful in this. So you're looking in all your being, in all your vulnerabilities and places of that need tikkun. And what's the proof in how your machshav d'mais are going to be in all things? But you're looking to find where are the places that you have to fix, like he says, the tikkun that you have to do. And when we're talking about bakshu panai, to seek out beyond Havaya, which is the essence of the heart, not the ha'aras nekudas alev. So what's the chabim kaimcha? Be an expression of that essence of who you are. The idea is not to be effective. It's not the shlichus, like it says, you only send the shliach to accomplish something, but now reveal the essence, the revelation of the essence, and therefore it says, bakshu panai, is you praying that the revelation is going to be that the panai is within you. Like we said before at the end of Siv Beis, what is that? Atzmus nekudas alev. It's the essence that every Jew has. And that's why it's called b'mkoimcha. He asked the questions, how could you say b'mkoimcha? And the question's asked more strongly by the Friedrich Rebbe's Maamar. How could you say b'mkoimcha? How could the heart be the makom of Hashem? Because it is the makom of Hashem. That is where the essence, atzmus of the Yid is. That's where the likus mamish is within the person. Is an atzmus nekudas alev. And that's how it could be b'mkoimcha, because it's not separate from Hashem. It's not taking over Hashem. It's the revelation of Hashem within you. You're not trying to accomplish something. And I guess, like he said before, that as long as you're on a mission to accomplish something else, that's not the essence itself. It's when you just reveal the essence itself, and that's how. And so the only question is, if one wants to ask, what she's basically said that he said, but she said it before, that when you reveal the atzmis nekudas alev, then it's verisa v'shavyoy eshes sifas tower, and you're able to change your seichel midos, your character. It's not because you're doing an avodah of changing your character. His hapcha, so to say, happens automatically by the revelation of the atzmis nekudas alev. The definition of the so to say the power of the revelation of the atzmis nekudas alev takes care of automatically, so to say, like bombards any kind of potential, but there be negativity in your character. But it's not in a way of you trying to. There's not a battle here. It's not a ivecha. It's not the mission. It's not trying to accomplish. It's not the shavisa itself. You see the beauty in the thing that's in the effect that's happening. So there is some sort of effect, but not obviously. Let's just read again. It's not a second to something else to actualize the shlichus. I'm doing something. I'm changing my machshav d'maiser. I'm controlling my thought, speech, and action. It's tachlis is it itself. Just the revelation that should be revealed within you. The atzmus nekudas alev. Okay, but there is avodah. Though it's not called the shlichus, but there's avodah. Avodah is balev atzma. That's the avodah that the heart itself feels its essence. That what is the avodah that should be revealed who you are, and that's in the essence of every yid. The primus alev because where's the avodah part? Because it's not revealed by a lot of people. and therefore you have to reveal it. And you have to take it from concealment to revelation. The whole avodah part is not to use it for something else. Just reveal that it is as reveal the essence of who you are. Therefore, you're not coming to seek anything. You're pleading that it should be that way. And this Iris Gedela is because you have the revelation of Atmos the Kleisler. Okay. Just go a little further. It says, in other places it says, okay, now we're going to go into which I'm going to try to figure out. So we wanted to say that there's an aliyah in the neshama. The neshama has a purpose coming down to this world to accomplish something. So where's the accomplishment? Is the accomplishment that there's a revelation of the Atzmis Nekud Salev, or is the accomplishment of the Ha'aris Nekud Salev? I mean, when you want to say where's a successful exercise of a person being in this world? Is it when you're able to reveal the essence of who you are as you are in this limited space of world? Or is it the effect you could have on the chitzainis of yourself? So it says in Inform, it's explained in other places, that when a soul comes down to this world, what is its elevation? Again, the Alter Rebbe says many times, and Sprata many times Chassidus, the idea is not to get back to square one, because then there's no point of an exercise. To get back to be as you were, then you didn't accomplish anything. You survived. And so what is the accomplishment? There's what's the accomplishment? That although you are in a body and connected to the animal soul, that you don't have when you're in heaven, you're able to serve Hashem, notwithstanding of all of a sudden all these tremendous obstacles and distractions and anxieties and feelings that you never had before. And when you do that, you're revealing your absolute connection to Hashem, that notwithstanding of no longer just being free to feel, but you have all these forces against you, nevertheless you're still connected to Hashem. You're showing how deep that connection is. That although notwithstanding that you're a human with human needs, and you just sleep and you eat, relationships, all the things that a human has that doesn't have, the soul doesn't have when it's up in Gan Eden. When it comes down to the world, notwithstanding of all these needs and restrictions, time, space, etc., desires, etc., you're able to become a person that's you don't lose your connection. So that's the kiddush. And you're so strong that you're not allowing that to be to weaken the connection, this kashrus. That's one avodah. One avodah is, so to say, the survivor avodah. And that itself is an accomplishment because you're not the way you were before. You have all these distractions. Second level of avodah, the purpose of creation is that when you make a chadash, something new, what's the chidush? You're able to change your body and your soul and your space of influence. So if you have the value, what is more accomplishing? When you make a chidush, that you're able to transform, affect the nefesh of Hamas and the guf and your place of influence, or if you're able to show you're still connected to understanding. The understanding is you haven't changed anything. You just didn't allow the world to change you. But when you go out and you succeed in the battle with your nefesh Hamas, you've changed your nefesh Hamas. Based on what's known, idea of refining your body and your animal soul, which is one of the main reasons why you come down to this world. Is then how do you transform is when you have the love and the fear of revealed within your heart, and it should be revealed in chitzaynis, like we say, b'chol levavcha plural. We have to shemakecha b'chol levavcha. Yishlema sheish yisrim b'shlichus ta'ars nekudus alev, v'chitzaynis alev alavoyts the gil nekudus alev. And here he introduces the idea that if you want to look at so to say, holiness as an essence, as a being, yes. A person who's able to have revealed the Atzmis Nekudus Alev, that's the highest connection. If you want to measure a success in the mission of this world of Dir B'Tachtonim, of why the soul came down, is the chiddush, and the chiddush is only when you take the ha'aris nekudis alev and you battle and you win over, notwithstanding machshav v'divrei ma'isa of the nefesh hamas. Again, going back to the question when he said earlier in the Maamar that when a person is megal the atzmus nekudis alev, that's the very isa b'shivya eishes sifas tower that transforms the moach and the sechel. That's not an avoid of battle. That's by default, so to say. Let's see it again inside. He says that you haven't transformed. Is only in the levush machshiv the ma'aseh. But how do you transform? How do you actually transform yourself? And that's Eishes Yifas Torah, is only when we reveal the atzmus kod slave. And like he says, he says, so what is it? So that's also an avodah. You've transformed the nefesh of Bahamas totally, but it's not in the battle of success and losses. It's an outcome that happens automatically. That's what we must say, because the only avodah he says is over here is to reveal the atzmus nefesh slave. The avodah is not to transform. The transformation happens seemingly automatically, or it's by definition, because that doesn't really exist. It's not really true. All right, let's stop over here. As Hashem, we're going to try to do one more class, maybe even finish the Maamar on Friday. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining.